Hi everyone, welcome back. 2 years ago, I had no idea I could paint, and today I have just got my first commission for my art. So in this video, I'm going to show you every painting that I did in the previous 2 years and my journey, so that perhaps you can see what a 2-year practice could do to you too. It seems like a miracle has happened to me if you look at everything in a few minutes. But I think the miracle can also happen to you as well if you put your mind to it. So let's get started. So I started painting in November 2022. At that time, I had some difficulty at work, which I felt like I had lots of emotion trapped inside. Stress, frustration, anxiety, and I just wanted to release it. So I first bought a book to learn how to paint with pastel. Then I realized I don't understand it because it is too advanced for me at that time. Learning from a book is not exactly effective for me. So I went to YouTube to look for tutorial videos. Then I discovered Patreon and I start learning art tutorial from different Patreon artists. Let me tell you, they are amazing. They are a big key of my success. If you are interested, I could perhaps share, my experience with different Patreon artists and what I learned from them later. Let me know. Back when I had no knowledge about art, I know nothing about medium, painting surface, style, none of that. I was following these masters one at a time, guided by them to do my own painting. I just followed their instruction exactly, copy and practice their teaching. Basically, when they do one mark in the tutorial, I pause and do the same mark in my own painting. I pause the video every 5-10 minutes and to catch up the tutorial painting. It just feels like when we learn how to write as a child, my mom used to hold my hand to teach me how to write, and I did a lot of copybooks. I felt like those tutorials act exactly like that to me, holding my hand to paint. I have done lots of art tutorials from different artists. Basically, I try to achieve what the tutorial painting is. By copying and practicing, I start observing everything in one go. I didn't start by grand sketching like a traditional art school. I start by absorbing from the master on an advanced level straight away. So also, I have tried out lots of different mediums and explored them by following different artists. When I was painting and following their tutorial, I kept asking myself, why do they use this tool? Why do they use this paper? How do they achieve this mark? How do they paint in such great detail? And how do they know what color to choose? How do they know when a painting is finished? When to stop? As I was exposed directly to an advanced level of tutorials, my learning takes a long time because most of the time I was trying to understand what is going on. I remember a 10 minutes tutorial video would take me an hour to follow. So most of the painting, as I first start, it took me weeks, but perhaps months, to finish one piece. At that time, I wasn't thinking about my progress or how fast I could finish the painting. If I would have thought like that, I guess I would have already given up at this stage when I know the painting perhaps took weeks or months. But I was playing and enjoying it. I treat the art painting as a safe haven for me. Like in meditation, nobody would have cared how many meditations you have achieved in a week, right? It's not about how quick you can achieve that. It is the enjoyment that it brings to you. Painting is my relaxing time, so I ignore all the timelines and just focus on the art skills and practice. As I do take time to follow this tutorial to the exact level, my results are very good as a beginner. When I hold the finished tutorial painting, I genuinely feel happy and truly admire it, and I cannot believe that I can do that. It's really like a miracle. Because of the success, I then continue to do more and more of these tutorial painting, and then more miracle happens. Then I start thinking to myself, perhaps I do have the talent to paint. The success in painting validates myself and gives me confidence to continue. But at this point, I was thinking, I can actually paint at a professional level. This statement is not a doubt anymore because I have achieved it. But my question is, what had happened to me and how did I do that? How do I replicate the success in the future? And of course, the reason why my learning curve is so high is because of these amazing artists who unconditionally share what they know and their experiences. Their tutorials gave me a shortcut. I just followed these masters and they guided me so well that I could achieve that. Then I thought that means if I was guided by the right tutorial or mentor, I can create a professional painting too. It helps me to confirm that I can do it, and what I need is the right methods and practice. When I chose which tutorial to learn, I always choose the amazing painting that I admire, always those paintings which look very challenging, which look impossible to achieve for me. And this is also a good technique, as you have already seen the finished painting. It's like visualization. I have seen the end result, I just have to find ways to achieve it. From time to time, I also challenge myself to try something new. It could be a new medium or a new painting style, different painting experience. For example, I try to paint outdoor and I try to join the local art club to do some live painting. Challenging myself and trying new things are very important to me because I will never know what I love and what my style is unless I try them all and discover more of myself. For those I tried and enjoy, I keep doing it and focus on a deeper level. For those which are not my style, I just let go of it and make time for the things that I love. But I have to give all the credits to the master. I realized that these artists have done all the heavy lifting for me. My learning curve wouldn't be so quickly if they are not there. They take care of the composition of the painting, chose the right reference photo, choose the right range of colors to express, and of course to teach me how to use the medium to achieve those results. These are all the shortcuts which they have done for me and all the students so that I can achieve success. Since they have done all the heavy lifting for me, as a beginner, I just have the peace to focus on one art skill at a time and enjoy the success at the end. However, what I now need to learn is how to do the heavy lifting myself. So I was learning more like Sherlock Holmes, trying to find clues, problems, and lead. Every time when I realize what skills is missing in my painting, I go and follow certain artists to learn those skills. It's more like a personalized training for myself. For example, when I realize I only know how to use realistic color, meaning to paint a tree in green and brown and an apple in red, instead of using color to express it, then I follow certain artists to learn how they chose their color palette to achieve a certain expression. And when I realize I cannot do color mixing well, I follow these artists who specialize in realistic painting to learn how they mix the color to the exact level. Most people in a traditional training would start with the drawing foundation, but when I now look back, I actually start by learning all the skills to make a final painting first. Meaning to learn the skills to create a professional painting with the consideration of the subject, composition, color, palettes, medium, light, etc. How to create a painting. And yes, I didn't start by sketching. Not at all. In fact, I rarely touched any graphite pencil in the previous 2 years. Perhaps I did some charcoal and pastel pencil sketches, and that's all. Instead, I use a paintbrush to paint directly on the painting because that's what the master do in the Patreon, and I follow them and inherit the habit. I actually have skipped the whole pencil sketching practice. So after practicing for a whole year, I have the foundation of the painting skills. Then I start painting outdoor live, training to capture live feeling and emotion into the painting, and more proportion and expression practicing. Some friends ask me, aren't you bored that you keep painting the same subject? Or aren't you feel bored that you paint every day? Or it took you 3 weeks to finish this painting, where did you have the patience? Well, I think the key to consistency is to do something you truly love and enjoy. In my case, I'm always stimulated by vibrant colors, so I didn't force myself to start with sketching first, because to me, black and white, graphite and charcoals are demotivating to me. I start by pastels and color pencil. If I had been forcing myself to do the traditional sketching and drawing foundation first, I might have already given up after a few months. However, I didn't mean that I would ignore the sketching training completely. It is just I prioritize the things that I love first and do the less preferred one later. At one point, I will have to face it because it will help me to grow. Actually, I decided to start the basic drawing foundation this upcoming year. To me, there is no formula to art or to make art. When we choose what we prefer, we are already developing our own style. Also, what's the point of forcing myself and making it like work? I already have a full-time day job. To me, the enjoyment always has to come first, and the outcome of the painting and the business side come seconds. I'll always value my joy first. If I start thinking of the business value of the painting too much, I then try to adjust myself and my style, and then will lose my own uniqueness, which is not why I wanted to create art in the first place. If you are still watching up to this point, consider like and subscribe to my channel. I'm planning to share more tips and experience upcoming. Or let me know what you wanted to hear from me. My conclusion is, make it fun like playing, focus on the enjoyment, but not the timeline and result. When you are a child, would you wake up one day and decide, I have to give up playing for the rest of my life? You don't, right? Because playing is fun. Who wants to give up their own fun time? Or would you worry as a child that you are not playing consistently? You won't, because you're enjoying the fun instead of looking at the timeline and results. So same as painting, if you make it as fun as it could be, just like your childhood, you won't have to worry about you are procrastinating or giving up painting one day, because you won't give up something fun. To the opposite, you would actually want to find more time to play every day. Art is your own expression, only to compare it to yourself. If you wanted to compare, focus on comparing with your own self, but not with the others. Art is your own personal expression. It is like your personal journal. Let's say you and your friend go to a festival, and you both have fun, and you both go home to write a personal journal of the day. Can you then compare your journal to your friend's journal? You can't, because these are basically two different people having different experiences and perspectives of the day. Based on our grown-up experiences, we are all in different styles. Everyone has their own puzzle to solve when it comes to art. Somebody has a particular art skill doesn't mean you are rubbish. So acknowledge the growth in you, celebrate it, and think about what to improve or to play next. Albert Einstein says, play is the highest form of research. So can I apply it to play is the highest form of art? When there is no end goal, one is free to try new things and express. There is no judgment, no one to please, just the act of playing is a pleasing experience. And that is what makes life so enjoyable and worthwhile. I am by no means professionally trained in art school or a master in art. These are just my personal observation, experiences, and perspectives. Also, I'm a person who loves analysis and details. For those who know 16 personality, I am an INTJ, so it explains a lot why this personalized training is better and more effective for me to learn. However, what works for me doesn't guarantee it will work for you. You are a different person, so take what inspires you in this video and try to learn what works for you and what doesn't, and walk your own path. So this is the end of the video. I have openly shared every painting that I've created and my experiences. I hope it is valuable to you and perhaps inspire you. So see you next time. Until then, happy painting and playing.